If you've been building electronics for a while, your workshop probably looks something like this. You know you bought that sensor. You know you have it somewhere, but where is it?
That's exactly why I built this electronics inventory application. It tells me what components I have, how many are available, where they're stored, and even whether I already have the parts required for my next project. And because many of you asked about this software in my previous videos, I've now created a version specifically for you. My personal version runs on my private Linux server, but the version I'm releasing for you works locally and offline. No Linux server, Cloudflare, or complicated setup is required. When I open the application, the dashboard immediately gives me an overview of the entire workshop. I can see how many different components I have, the total quantity in stock, anything that's currently unavailable, and how everything is distributed between my component categories. So instead of opening boxes just to remember what I own, I can see the overall inventory in seconds. To show you how everything works from the beginning, I'm going to use a completely blank offline system. So let's add our first items to the inventory. From the left menu, open Components. This is where you can create your components, define different component types, and add the locations where you store them. Let's start by creating a new component type. Click Types, and for the type name, I'll enter Microcontroller. You can also choose an SVG icon. This icon will appear on the component type card, but it's completely optional. I'll click Choose SVG icon, select an icon, and then click Save. And now, in the component type dropdown, you can see Microcontroller. Let's quickly add one more type. This time, I'll create Resistor and save it. Now we have two component types available, Microcontroller and Resistor. Next, let's create our storage locations. I use multiple drawers for organizing components, so I'll set the location name to Drawer. For the drawer number, I'll enter 10, and then click Save. Drawer 10 is now available in the location dropdown. Let's add another one, Drawer 15. Now both storage locations are ready to use. And now we can finally add an actual component. Let's add an ESP32C6 Super Mini. In component name, I'll enter ESP32C6 Super Mini. The manufacturer field is optional, so you can add it if you want. Next, I'll select Microcontroller as the component type. Then I'll choose where this component is stored. In this case, I'll select Drawer 10. The Details field can be used for any extra information you want to keep with the component. You can also select a unit if required, enter the opening quantity, and define a minimum quantity for low stock tracking. Finally, let's add a picture. Click Choose Image, select an image of the component, and then click Add. And that's it. Our ESP32C6 Super Mini has now been added to the inventory. Now you know how to create component types, storage locations, and new components. So let's switch back to my main inventory system, which already has a lot of data, and I'll give you a quick overview of how I use it. In the Components tab, you can switch between List View and Thumbnail View using this button. This is where you can record different types of stock movements. You can select Stock In when you're adding new items, Stock Out when you're using components, Return when something comes back into inventory, or Loss if a component is damaged or missing. You can add multiple components to the same transaction, enter the quantity for each one, and then click Submit. You can also edit any component directly by clicking the Edit icon on its card. If you click on the component image, it simply opens a larger view of that image. But if you click on the component name or text, the application automatically selects that component for a stock transaction and takes you to the Stock tab. The application records the complete stock movement and automatically updates the available quantities. And because I've already been using this system for a while, you can see many of these transactions listed here under Recent Movements. So every time components enter or leave my inventory, I have a clear record of exactly what changed. Now let me show you how I manage components for individual projects. Open the Projects tab, enter the name of your project, and click Add.
Then, open the project. Here, you can add a project image if you want, and also write a short description so you can easily remember what the project is about. Next, use the Search Component field to find and add all the components required for this project. Once everything is added, click Save All. Now if I go back and click View Project Components, I can see the complete list of parts used in that project. And this is connected directly with the main inventory, so the quantities used in the project are automatically deducted from the available stock. If I need to make any changes later, I can open the project again and add, remove, or edit the components at any time. I also added a PDF export option. By clicking this PDF button, I can export the project details along with its complete component list into a PDF file. So for every project, I can keep the required parts, inventory usage, and project details organized in one place. There are a few additional tools as well. The complete inventory can be exported as CSV if I want to work with it in a spreadsheet, or as a PDF if I want a clean inventory report. And in settings, I can control things like the interface theme, component images, and whether adding or editing components is enabled. I intentionally kept this part simple. The application is supposed to help me organize components, not become another complicated system to manage. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, the system you normally see me using is my own self-hosted version. But for this release, I've prepared an offline version specifically for you guys. So if you just want a simple electronics inventory system, you can use the ready-to-run application without setting up any server. To download it, open the GitHub link in the video description. On the GitHub page, you'll find two versions of the application, one for Windows and one for Android. If you're using Windows, just download the Windows version, open the setup file, and follow the normal installation steps. Once the installation is complete, you can launch the application and start using it immediately. For Android, download the APK file, install it on your phone or tablet, and open the application. The default login details are very simple. Username, admin. Password, admin. After logging in, you can start creating your component types, storage locations, inventory, and projects exactly like I showed in this video. Everything runs locally, so you don't need a server, internet connection, or any complicated setup to get started. I've tried to keep this version simple and practical, so you can focus on organizing your components instead of spending time configuring the software. I hope this application makes it easier to keep track of what you have, where it's stored, and what you're using in your projects. If you find it useful, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next project.